Hello and welcome to
Hi.
Juicy Lucy's another podcast. Today we're talking about a little bit about homemade quinine, but we're talking about the elderberry syrup. Hi
Yeah.
Alison, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. And amazing to find out that you're actually really close to me and we had no idea. We were chatting away for ages.
Yeah, I know. Just down the
Absolutely.
road. Yeah, so we first met in the homemade quinine group.
That's right. And I've been making my quinine for, I suppose it's nearly 2 years now, is it? Lost track of time, really. I've been on my journey with it, getting the water right and
Yeah,
enjoying changing, fiddling about with times. And it's been a real godsend to me in my life to keep my health up. I work in a school, so I'm right in a germ factory, and I find that it's second to none for warding off anything that's coming my way, boosting my energy, and it's really good stuff. Really good stuff.
it is amazing stuff, isn't it? I mean, I've
Yeah.
I've, I've put together a few of the benefits. I just want to share the screen and show you because
Hmm.
this juice is just so amazing. It just seems to help so much stuff. Somebody got in contact with me on Facebook. Got my missus on it every year since her eldest was born 12 years ago. She's been admitted at least once to hospital for an allergic reaction to midgie bites. She's had IV drips and all sorts over the years. It used to really mess her up. This is her second summer on the magic juice, and no probs. Been bitten loads of times too on their hikes. Can only put it down to the quinine.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so amazing stuff. Then somebody else posted, had the third batch. Yesterday, I had a small operation on my back, and by last night, it was quite uncomfortable. I was told to take paracetamol, but instead, I had a large shot of glass of quinine, and the pain just disappeared. Wow,
Isn't
that's
that marvelous?
amazing.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
And then da, 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 the results speak for themselves. Much stronger and darker in colour. The taste is strong too. I'm excited to taste tomorrow morning. And she or he also does the supplements as well. The zinc and the quercetin.
Yeah, I totally recommend that. I do that as well. I've been doing
Yeah,
that for
I do.
as well.
Yeah, we do. We both do. Yeah, it's awesome. And even if we've run out of juice, we just have the zinc and the quercetin supplements. Yeah, so we're getting really good feedback. I mean, the best feedback I think we've had so far is the chap in America who had the two blood infections for 30 odd years, had a fever for 18 years, and then within 2 weeks of having this juice, his fever completely broke
Mm.
and he feels superb. I spoke to him last week. And also we've had loads of people saying about blood pressure results.
Oh,
People who have had blood pressure problems for many years, been on all sorts of medication, it's never really quite got it right, and they've took it upon themselves to try the quinine, even though it's got grapefruit in it. It's been their choice to do that, and their results have literally all gone back to normal to the point where they've had to go to the doctors to double check the results they're getting from their own machine just to make sure it's correct because it's so amazing. You know, they're so amazed at how it's all gone back to normal. So that's awesome news.
don't know if there's anyone listening that did this. I kind of got a bit lazy in the summer and I thought, oh, I don't need to bother making that. And I didn't make it for a few months. And I didn't realize until I started again. Of course, it's September and I'm thinking I'm going back into the hodgepodge, the soup of illnesses.
Yeah,
And I thought I better get started on it. And I actually feel really different on it. And I think you don't realize it when you're on it, how much it can improve your well-being. I find it gives me an energy boost. I know
yeah,
that might sound
proper.
weird, but and also it's quite good for a hangover. You're not supposed to say that sort of thing. Um,
We don't really drink, so I don't know. I don't
well,
know on that
occasionally
score.
I have a drink, and if you have a bit too much, you think, oh, you feel absolutely rotten because you just poisoned your system. It's really good to knock you back into the right pH, I suppose. I'm just learning
Yeah,
about it like you. We were all learning about it, but I think that from that point of view, it's really, really good.
It is. It is. It's so much better than coffee, isn't it?
Oh
So much
yeah,
better. It's awesome,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
We've come off it for a bit and then gone back on it and had another break. It's further bit further down the line, and you really do realise how good it is again,
Yeah,
don't
once
you?
you're back on it again, you think, oh, I feel great, and I wish I hadn't stopped. But I suppose it is a little bit of a thing to keep making it. My husband goes, "Oh, you're getting your cauldron out again." I get my slow cooker out, and I'm making my wing wang juice. He says,
Wing Wang
because,
juice. Oh, that's wicked. Some of the names that have come out are awesome, aren't they? Motion
yeah,
Potion and Jungle Juice or Joy
yeah,
Juice.
yeah, and I take it into work in a little bottle, so I've got some in the fridge. And my
Yeah.
friend says, "What on earth is that?" Oh, that's my quinine.
Yeah,
They think
I've
it's
done
quite
that as
funny.
well. Late afternoon when you're slightly dipping in your energy
4 o'clock.
levels. If you have a quick swig, whoosh again, off we go
four
again.
o'clock. Yeah, good,
Yeah,
good.
it's
And
really
some
good.
people are interested to find out more, and some people think it's a bit bonkers. But that's the way of the world, isn't it? It's
It
just life.
is, yeah.
It's life.
And you use those vital water beads as well for the water,
Yes,
don't you?
yes, I do. I
'Cause-
was very lucky to be in touch with a lady who managed to get in touch with Greg, who's the guy that markets it in Australia, and I bought from her. And I used to go and get my water from Glastonbury. I know I live in Weymouth, and I used to get my big water bag that you take on your camping trips, and I'd
Wow.
go all up to Glastonbury and fill it up and come back, and that was what I drank, and I loved it. And I made my quinine with that first of all, but then I realized it was just too much of a trek for me to go there every time I wanted to make it. So the beads were great, and I've got a vat in the kitchen. What I did find is I've got one of the Kilner jars, maybe not advertising, the jars with the little tap on them.
The tap,
And
yeah.
I did find I had to cover that over in the summer because I didn't want any light getting to it. It's really important that it's dark, that it's not got sunlight going on it.
Yeah.
I personally found that. There may be someone else who disagree with me, but I felt that it was nicer when it didn't have the sun on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So
we struggled on the boat because we've got some coming from all directions. So
I think
I,
the towel
I know what you
beads,
mean there.
they recommend that you actually have it in there. They've got ceramic jars that they put it in, so it isn't in the sunlight. So I thought, well, I better cover it over, really. It's amazing stuff. I haven't looked at the science behind that, but from what I can gather, it completely restructures the water, changes its pH value, and it really improves it. And I found also when I made my other drinks that was really important too.
It does taste a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realise, I never clicked. When somebody told me about carbon actually stops quinine from working, I looked into it and I thought, well, that kind of makes sense because they give you, if you've accidentally ingested poisons in hospital, they give you carbon to get rid of it because it absorbs everything and takes it out your system. But it also absorbs all vitamins, minerals. It doesn't
Mhm.
like have a to-do list of what it can and can't take. It just strips a lot. So
Can't
I was
discriminate.
thinking, if
Yeah.
we're drinking that all day, every day, and it really does make a difference. If you make the juice with carbon filtered water and then make the juice with another kind of filter, you can feel the difference. Definitely.
I
Definitely.
haven't experienced that. I've only ever used Glastonbury water or Battelle water. I've got to say the Glastonbury water is lush
I
from
can
what you're saying.
imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. It is a bit far though, isn't it?
It's stretching it. Yeah. Car share, definitely. You know what you're picking. You can't just pick any old thing and think that's elderberry. It might be something poisonous. So make sure and refer to a book. Go online, check that you've got the right plant. I've given you a photograph of the elder tree as it is now. That's the only one that's leaves. I gave that one to you.
That one.
Here where I am in Dorset, they've all gone now. The berries have all gone.
Have they?
Unfortunately, yes. I wish I'd kind of met up with you earlier and we could have done this earlier in the day, but they've gone. Anyway, you can buy them dried. I did look that one up. You can buy them online dried if you want to feed the beast, or if you're not too bothered about that, that's fine. You can, I'm sure, get them in health food shops. I would suggest if you're going to get them from a health food shop dried, you'd want to soak them overnight just to get them plumped right back up again to normal, normal capacity. And then it's a really simple recipe: a pint of berries, and then put them in a saucepan, fill them up so that they're covered, and simmer them for 30 minutes. And that's a really low simmer. I mean, you're really, really gently. It's a bit like the quinine, to be fair.
Yeah.
You don't want it boiling. You just don't want it to do that. You can make it in a slow cooker, to be honest. I think slow cookers are fantastic for this.
Yeah, so, that would be a really good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So you put them in, and then when they've been done for 30 minutes, you can add sugar, and you add a pound of sugar. I'm sorry, I'm talking in old language here, we're not metric. And then you would add, say, 10 cloves, but that's really to taste, because you can muck around with that one. Now, my auntie didn't put lemon in her elderberry, but I fancied a bit of lemon in mine. So when I was simmering it for the first time, I put a few lemon rinds in.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then you heat it up for another 15 minutes to get the sugar dissolved within it.
Is that still on low?
Yeah, just the same. Absolutely. Just all you're trying to do is get the sugar dissolved.
Yeah.
You're not cooking it anymore. You're not actually cooking it. You're just trying to get it infused. You're trying to draw all the goodness out of the berry. And then you would let it cool. And then you put it into a muslin, or you can run it through a sieve and really press out all the juices. Run it through a sieve, press out all the juices. And at that stage, when you've got it through, you can add citric acid if you want to. Now, purists will say no, citric acid, not going with that. If you want it to last for a long, long time and you're really concerned about it going off, then that's the way forward. And it's citric acid is kind of, you can get a natural derivative from lemons. So I'm not professing to be any perfectionist on this. This is what I did. I didn't want to go to my elderberry and find it had gone off. So I put a little bit of citric acid in. But be careful about how much you put in, because if you put too much in, it'll do little by little, taste it. You'll taste it, just taste it gently, little by little, and then let it cool and bottle it up, but make sure your bottles are well sterilized. If you've got a dishwasher, you put them in a dishwasher. If you haven't got a dishwasher, boiled kettle, boiled, not boiling, boiled water, like slightly cooler, because if it's too boiling, it'll crack your bottles. Yeah. These hook top bottles are the best thing, I find. I don't know if you can see me now, but the hook top bottles are the best thing to use. And they're really nice. And I store mine in the fridge. So that's a very, very simple recipe. I don't know if it makes much difference if you sieve it before sugar or after sugar. Play around with it. Have a look around on the internet. Find some recipes that suit you. But it's basic. Elderberries, sugar, lemons, and if you want it, citric acid. It's a no-brainer, really.
Love it. How long do you think that lasts for?
I don't know yet. I would say probably 3 or 4 months in the fridge. Yeah.
Cool.
See, the sugar is the preservative. So we often preserve things in sugar. I mean, my elderflower that I've made has lasted 15, 16 months. It's never got a chance to last. Does that make sense? Because it gets used up. My aim is to keep one bottle back for Christmas, because we've got to have some for Christmas. And it's lovely in a cocktail. I think the elderberry is fantastic over vanilla ice cream. Lovely.
Wow. That sounds good. That looks good.
It's really delish.
Yeah. I bet.
But when you're taking them, I can't stress enough, when you're taking the berries off the stalks, you can do it with a fork, or you can I did it with my hands, because for me, I did it with my fingers, and I found myself going into the zone when I was doing it. It's one of those things, it's like shelling peas, it's one of the nature's pleasures. It's nature's giving us a gift, and take it slowly, don't rush it, just enjoy it. And as you're doing that and enjoying it, your juice will be full of love.
Oh,
So that's how but be careful you don't include any green ones. Pull the green ones out, because they might give a bitterness to the juice.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
don't be
yeah.
too precious over it. I think with these things, it's like the Juicy Lucy. It's like the quinine. It is what it says. It's simple. 3 grapefruits, 3 lemons, water, bish bash bosh. Don't
Yeah.
don't don't
Job
mess
done.
around with it. Yeah, don't mess around with it.
Yeah.
And don't stress over it, because you mustn't.
No,
If you stress over it, that's going to be in your
that's going to
juice.
go into it. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. So that's it for the elderberry. Elderflower is June. So I always pick it at, I'm really funny. I always pick it between 11 and 12 o'clock on a June morning, because I want it to have the flowers, to have the dew to have gone, but I
Yeah.
still want it to be bloomy. I don't want it to be dried out. And then I soak it
That's a good
overnight.
point.
I soak it overnight and leave it in cold water overnight with lemons. And I've posted some photographs for you there. And then that's really simple. The next day, you just strain it, add your sugar, and if you want to, your citric acid. If you want that, you don't have to. You can just add more lemons if that's the case, and then bottle it up in sterilized bottles. And I've got people going, have you got any? Have you got any? I'm a bit precious.
Lovely. That's wicked. Thank you so much for that.
Well, I don't know if it's the perfect way to make it. Have a look. All I can say to people is it's brought me great joy and great health benefits.
Yeah. It's just having a go, isn't it? Having a go at trying
Yeah.
it.
And the other
See
thing
how
is
you personally feel.
the elderflower is superb it's superb for Christmas presents. People go, if you give them something like that, they just love it. They love things that people have made and created and thought about. It's the way we should be living. It really is the
Yeah,
way we should be living.
it is. It is.
And I even gave
Yeah,
away some of my
swapsies.
quinine. I've given away quinine.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
have. Very often, if we've run out, the boat opposite us, they'll give us a bit of theirs, and vice versa.
absolutely, absolutely. It's great stuff.
And
It's great
it's
stuff.
quite cool actually to have a taste of somebody else's juice, because every single batch tastes different.
I
Every
have to
single one.
admit, I had problems getting organic grapefruit. I don't know about you, but I couldn't get organic grapefruit. So I was told by someone to clean the skins really, really thoroughly. Well, a way
Yeah,
to do it is to put bicarbonate of soda on your grapefruit, and then just drizzle some white vinegar over it, and it
yeah.
fizzes and it cleans it, and you can suddenly smell the grapefruit. It's amazing. The smell is incredible, and it cleans all the wax and the rubbish
Yeah,
off.
that's what I do
So
every
that's what
time.
I
Yeah.
do.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Lovely. Well, thanks for joining me, Alison, and thanks for sharing your lovely recipe. We'll put the recipe in the comments below, shall we?